Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 will receive massive new additions to its already iconic soundtrack when the remakes come out in September. Riot accidentally reveals their new character, and a big-name pro warns that Riot seems to want to be more Overwatch than CSGO when it comes to Valorant now. And Team Liquid blow up their CSGO roster and fire their in-game leader before a major tournament. All that and more next on The Breakdown. Welcome back to another edition of the only esports and video game news show that has a guy with a multicolored beard. Remember, if you like the content or the beard, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with the latest content we publish. And if you want to get notified, make sure you hit that little bell icon. Now, let's jump into some news. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remakes get 37 new soundtrack songs. September 4th literally cannot get here any quicker. After destroying any interest in the franchise with the release of the abysmal Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, fans were elated to hear that the first and second entries in the franchise were being remade and re-released. But it all hinged on one very specific thing. The soundtrack had to be just right. Most fans fondly remember the licks of the punk and ska fusion that created the exact correct mood for tearing through a school in California on a skateboard as Bucky Lasek. But until now, the devs have remained fairly silent when it comes to exactly what music was going to be shipping with the newest titles. Well, wait no more, because not only will the original soundtrack be featured with 18 tracks in the game, but it has now been announced and confirmed that an additional 37 new songs will be in the game for you to cruise around on your longboard to. The original two games had more than 30 tracks between them, but the remaster only includes about 2/3 of these, like Police Truck by the Dead Kennedys and Superman by Goldfinger. A few that were missing before, including Suicidal Tendencies and Anthrax, are now featured on the poster that the company is using to promote the new release. Listen, there are some big ads here. Some of the biggest new artists being included are Real Big Fish, Skepta, Sublime, The Ataris, Cherry Cola, A Tribe Called Quest, Less Than Jake, Zebrahead, and Alex Leahy. And there are tons of dope artists like the return of Goldfinger and Rage Against the Machine, and even Primus from the original soundtrack also included here. And if you wanted to take a listen before the release, I'll drop a Spotify list in the description below. What songs are iconic to the THPS series? Drop your favorites in a comment below and gear up for the release of the remakes on September 4th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Riot accidentally reveals Valorant agent Killjoy early. Hiko warns devs for going back on promises. This week's big oof goes to Riot for accidentally sending out a release webpage on their own website super early, thereby spoiling and leaking the release of this new hero long before it's supposed to go public. The newest agent in Valorant, Killjoy, will be a turret-loving fighter hoping to shake up the meta going into Act 2 of the popular first-person shooter. What started as a small little itty-bitty leak over the past few weeks with a voice line here leaking or a few work-in-progress animations coming out became a full-on leak stream this week thanks to some Riot employee accidentally sending a web page announcing the new character to public view before the Act 2 reveal date of next month.
Turret out. Alley-oop.
Egal was so geschieht, schön ist es dich geben. Ja, du bleibst. Ja, sonst
Found them.
wär ich nicht so mit
Had some trouble.
Denn alles ist smooth, slow, relax, perfekt, genau so.
Countdown initiated.
Killjoy looks cool. I mean, it's not a bad character. It just seems that the agents are being released are now more and more leaning into becoming Overwatch characters and betraying the underlying premise of what Valorant was supposed to be, a shooter that happened to have a few ability mechanics in it. That's what drew so many both former and current Counter-Strike players to the game, the kind of players who never made the leap to Overwatch or other similar FPS titles because of the lack of focus on gunplay. And that's exactly what worries 100 Thieves team captain Hiko, as he talked about on a stream reacting to exactly where this agent is going to put the state of the game.
Ultimately, I personally think that agents like this lower the skill ceiling. I think that it's pretty misleading and pretty hypocritical, maybe is the word, for them when the game came out in the actual beta. Sorry, before the game was even in beta. When the game was in alpha, they came out and they they very publicly said exactly what my chat is spamming right now, which is, to be clear, in Project A, shooting matters. You don't kill with abilities. Abilities create tactical opportunities to take the right shot. Characters have abilities that augment their gunplay instead of fighting directly with their abilities. Now, so if this is the route that Riot wants to go with this game, then I can't see a world where they don't make some kind of a shield agent. Because if there's going to be turrets and there's going to be a bit like, if there's agents that do ability damage and they've already went back on what they said, as far as abilities not being able to kill people, if this game is going to turn into Overwatch, there's going to need to be shields.
And he's right. When Papa Hiko's right, he's right. Nothing is more frustrating than playing this game and feeling like the actual gun mechanics continue to slide down the list in order of importance. Riot has now officially launched the announcement for Killjoy, as the leak kind of already ruined any plans of keeping it under wraps any longer. But will we see shield-type agents being released in the near future for this game? For the sake of Hiko's blood pressure, I sure hope not. Team Liquid blow up their CSGO roster and fire their in-game leader before a major tournament. Team Liquid are reportedly looking at benching longtime Counter-Strike global offensive star Nicholas Nitro Canella after the team's disappointing string of results in the last 12 months. The org seems to be slotting in Michael Grimm Wintz, a Triumph player who has had a modicum of success over the past few months, but more so, he has proven himself able to compete on the online landscape that is the ESL in the age of COVID. Liquid are now one of the few CSGO rosters that have stuck together over the last 12 months, and that was what many on the outside lent credit to when it came to talking about their successes. 2019 was a coming out party for the lineup, and after defeating teams like Vitality, Astralis, and more, most people thought Liquid were poised to reach dynasty status again. But it looks like online competitions may be claiming another victim. 2020 has not been nice to Team Liquid, and the org seems ready to make some shakeups, all while preparing for the massive ESL Finals tournament that was recently moved to an online format and split into 4 regions of competition. Nitro seems to be done, especially after he himself tweeted, "Until next time, friends." Liquid at the very least confirmed their roster changes for the upcoming DreamHack event, with the org telling a media source, "We can confirm that Grimm will be starting for Team Liquid at DreamHack next weekend. We're not ready to share more at the moment, but we will have more to share with the community soon." Liquid's president also released a statement via Twitter.
Yes, we will be making changes to the roster, and with roster changes, you know, they're never easy. They impact the lives of the players, and they should be done with a lot of thoughtfulness and consideration, and ultimately to hopefully improve the performance of the team.
Will removing an in-game leader this close to what would be considered CSGO's Super Bowl be the right move? Liquid need a shakeup in the roster to try and find some new lifeblood, but will this spell disaster and changes for the rest of the lineup as well? That's it for the news for today. Remember, we've got all kinds of awesome content on our YouTube channel for you to check out, and would love for you to come and hang out with us on Twitter as well at CheckpointXP. We've been on the front page of Twitch all month, you may have seen us, with our partners at gamers.vote, and would love to encourage you to make sure you are getting registered to vote, regardless of what your political affiliations may be. Make your voice heard today. My name's Weirdbeard, and I think clear gummy bears are the ones that taste the best.